Yo, what's going on, guys? DJ Hess here, collectivekicks.com. Wanted to bring you guys a video today. Have a little discussion point on pairs of sneakers and why are some of them worth more than others if it's the same exact model. I think for newer sneakerheads, this might be kind of confusing to some of you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to break this down for you guys in this video. And if you guys like the video, please show your support and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But basically, I wanted to do this because, again, newer people might not understand why one colorway might be worth more than the other when it's literally the same exact build, the same exact construction of the sole, everything else. It's just one is worth $80, like the Pro Stars in front, which is what I paid for those ones at retail or like at the Nike outlets. And then you have like something like the Toro Fives up top, which would easily bring probably $3,000 or so if I was to ever sell them, which I won't. And then you have the Dornbecker Fives up top, which are probably $1,200 or $1,500 or so. And then varying like $500, $600 in between of the different sneakers. So it's like kind of confusing. It's like, why is one worth so much, one worth so little, and it's literally the same build. So let's dive into this and hopefully answer some of this with you. So the first thing is exclusivity. Some of the shoes are very exclusive and you can only buy them in certain areas of the world. And that's why they hold a higher resale value, because people that were not in Tokyo, which this was the only release in Tokyo, if you were not there, then you probably didn't get a pair of these, and then you had to get them from somebody that went into Tokyo and got the shoes there. So because of that, the resale is way higher on the Tokyo since it was such a small limited release. The Dornbecker Fives was a limited release as well, and those ones ended up dropping on just Nike.com and then some Nike stores in store. And I lucked out and actually ended up getting 2 pairs of those, and RIP to Isaac, because the child designer from Dornbecker Children's Hospital actually passed away when he ended up designing those shoes, which is really sad. And then the K54s, those ones were a Europe release only. Us in the US did not get those shoes, so definitely a little bit harder to get. And so on and so on. So the Supremes only on Supreme.com, and then also on if that's even the website's address, I'm totally getting that wrong. And then Nike.com, those released on NDC, and then so on and so on. So one thing I did want to mention. So obviously the amount of production makes a huge impact on the resale value. So it's simple, like supply and demand. Less supply equals more demand, which means the dollar value is higher. And we don't know which pair of sneakers is going to be limited for the most part when they are being released. And I think that's the hardest part, and kind of the interesting part about sneakers is we didn't know the Tokyo Fives. Most people didn't know those were going to be only Tokyo. So the first images, people were like, oh, those are trash. They're so ugly. And then the hype takes over. They're only in Tokyo. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, those are super hot, right? Like, it's kind of silly and kind of ridiculous that that's the way it goes, but that is the way it goes. And one question I wanted to answer is, this is the only colorway out of all these ones up here that's an OG colorway, and that's the Fire Red Fives, and that's probably the second cheapest one that you can buy out here. So it doesn't necessarily mean the original colorways are going to be worth more. Though by original ones, I mean the ones that released in the 90s that Jordan actually rocked when he hooped in them. That's the only one that was a retro, and it retroed so many times now that the resale value dropped dramatically on those, and you can probably buy them for still like about $200 or less. And then also I wanted to point this out. Just because this one was a general release and it's not worth very much now, the Grape Fives were one that's actually dropped, and they sold out originally, and then when they came out and re-released them, before the re-release, like a year before that, the last couple years ago, the resale on those were like $450 and so, and then they dropped again and dropped another 500,000 pairs of the shoe, and then all of a sudden the resale dropped to like $200 on the Grapes. And I have more Fives. This is just the ones I wanted to pull out for this video. But point being, with the Toro Fives right here, this is a shoe right here that these sat on shelves for quite a while, and then it was part of a pack, the Toro Bravo pack, which I have the other one down there in the mix. But that pack sat because nobody wanted to buy 2 pairs of shoes. They only wanted this one. They didn't want the 3M reflective black one, which I think is actually pretty dope too. But I ended up buying those on Eastbay or something like that, like a month or so after the drop. So just because I had the ability to buy those for $310 or whatever it was back then, like now the market is probably $850, $1,000 on a DS pair of those. Anyways, that doesn't mean every single pair that ends up releasing will be worth significantly more, double, triple the amount that it was when you ended up buying it. It's kind of a crapshoot nowadays with Jordan Brand, because they will retro anything over and over again. And like between 1 and 5 years, it seems like they'll re-release something, versus back then it was like every 10 years something would be retroed. So that being the case, you can't really bank on buying a pair of shoes and thinking it's going to be worth so much. A lot goes into it, whether or not it's going to resale. Part of it is just demand. Again, if everybody likes the sneaker, then potentially it could be one that will sell for more on the open market. And then also, depending on how limited the pair of sneakers are. So yes, the actual build quality of the sneakers, they're pretty much on par for each other. They're not significantly better. I mean, just to show you guys up close, I mean, the Supremes have a different texture material on this, and they have Supreme branding on it and stuff, but really, that's, I mean, it's not that much different than any of the other 5. This one has a little bit different materials as well, but the material build on the shoe it doesn't make the shoe like $1,000, you know what I mean? Depending on, doesn't matter how fancy it is. This shoe, I mean, some people don't like the leather, but it's a pretty decent leather. Comparison to the Fire Red 5s from the last retro, this is very superior to those ones, but these ones are worth less, even though it has probably more premium materials. Then you have, you know, the luck of a draw, and some like shoes like these ones, the suede material on these are really, really nice. And the you know, the retail was $310 on them. So it is what it is with the materials and the pricing out the gate, but the resale market, depending on how limited stuff is, it really just kind of is just interesting. If you actually want to research like which pairs are like have the higher resale value, or which ones are like ones that are like more high demand, I guess, than other ones, you can go to Flight Club and like just look at the pricing on some of those things. It's kind of the highest of the high pricing wise, but it also is a good indicator of kind of like the market times 20% or whatever, because it's always so over the top price. But hopefully you guys like this concept of this video. If I missed some points, I apologize. The wife called in the middle of the video, and I'm trying to knock these out, you know, before I have to play dad duty again. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys again enjoyed. We'll catch you guys for some more videos soon. Peace, guys.